Okay, while my recorder is opening up, I know y'all see the mic, dude. I know y'all see the mic arm off the table. I can do all types of stuff with this. I can get up close. I can come far back. What y'all on? It's late at night. Look at my screen. Y'all can't look at my screen because I ain't start recording. I can even get up. Don't ask why it look ratchet right there. Ratchet, that thing look ratchet. I could rap. I could get up here. I'm in a trap. C-A-P. Trap. Nah, but it's pretty late. So if I'm more quiet than I usually am, that's why. It is late, but it's the perfect time for some breakfast. You know, I got some, y'all want some? Just take. No! So today we're reacting to some scary animations. I keep telling you I want to do these more recently, and I'm about to stick to that. So be ready next week because I'm coming next week. Pause with some more. And I pinky promise, dude. Before we get into the first animation, drop in the comments and make sure you drop a like. Drop in the comments, what were you scared of as a kid? Now, me personally, something that I always used to be scared of. I can't remember the name of the movie right now, but it was with that leprechaun. Y'all probably seen memes of him like walking, but I remember one night I woke up, that junk was on my TV, because I always sleep with the TV on. Like, if you don't, you're just asking for a monster on your bed or in your closet. Facts. Today's first animation is by Mort, and we're reacting to some 4 urban legends based on true horror stories animated. And of course, we're not reacting to all 2, but let's get into it.
Many of us will be familiar with the Bloody Mary urban legend. The idea that if you look into a mirror and say her name a certain number of times, a malevolent phantom known as Bloody Mary will materialize to murder you. Some might say that the movie series The Candyman borrowed the concept, having the protagonist stare into a mirror while repeating the titular character's name as a means to summon him.
Before you keep talking, let me put this down real quick. I remember this one day, I was reacting to scary videos and Bloody Mary caught my eye. Like, I kept reacting to it, wanting to learn more about it, curious. And I scared myself. Like, I didn't like going into the bathroom. Oh my God. Like, turning my back to the mirror, because I felt like if your back's turned to something, bro, your defense is down. Like, you're done for. So, dude, like, I used to stand and pee sideways on. Yeah, that was about to go left. Let me just get back into it.
It's certainly a terrifying trope. The idea of staring into a mirror, only for someone or something to suddenly appear behind you. It's enough to make even the bravest of us shiver. But no one's ever just appeared out of someone's mirror to murder them, right? Those of you who wish to remain in blissful ignorance, I implore you.
Take this lady as an example. Stretch when you get out of bed. You see how stiff she was walking?
Stop listening right now. But for the rest of you, who don't mind being a little paranoid for the next couple of days, let me introduce you to the story of Ruthie Mae McCoy.
Get into it.
At around 8:45 on April 22nd of 1987, Ruthie Mae McCoy made a 911 call from her 11th floor Abbott apartment on West 13th Street, Chicago.
Okay.
After the police dispatcher asked Ruthie what manner of assistance she required, he found her response to be incredibly perplexing. In effect, Ruthie told them that someone was trying to get into her home via the bathroom cabinet. "They want to break in," he asked. "From where?" "They want to come through my bathroom," Ruthie replied. "I'm on the other side. They're trying to reach in through my bathroom cabinet." The dispatcher had already established that Ruthie was on the 11th floor of a 13th Street high-rise. There was no way anyone was climbing through her bathroom window, and absolutely no way of them using her bathroom cabinet as some kind of doorway.
Facts.
The dispatcher was most certainly concerned for Ruthie's safety, but it seemed to them that the biggest threat to her well-being was herself.
I would have been on the other line. Are you on drugs? Or do you need help? Do you need some assistance?
She sounded frightened. That much was certain. But if she truly believed that people were trying to break into her apartment through her bathroom cabinet, she must have been having some kind of mental breakdown. The dispatcher told Ruthie that the cops were on their way, but he logged the call as a disturbance with a neighbor as opposed to an assault in progress. It wasn't a high priority call, but the cops would get there eventually to check up on her. When the cops finally arrived at Ruthie's apartment, they knocked on the door but received no reply. After their knocks went unanswered, the police attempted to enter the apartment using a key given to them by an attendant in the housing office.
He's not
but
pressed.
left when the key failed to unlock the door. The next evening, Chicago PD received a call from one of Ruthie's neighbors who was worried about her whereabouts, considering she had seen police at her door the night before and still had not seen Ruthie. Chicago police and Chicago Housing Authority security guards arrived back at McCoy's apartment shortly afterward, and after the knocks and calls from McCoy went unanswered, officers suggested breaking the door down, but unbelievably, were prevented from doing so by the CHA security guards, who told them they'd sue the city for damages if they got fired from their jobs. The following evening, pressures from the cops forced the Chicago Housing Authority to act, and they sent over a representative with a carpenter, who drilled the lock on the door. It was then that they made a horrifying discovery: the dead, decaying body of Ruthie Mae McCoy. Homicide detectives discovered that she had been shot in her left shoulder, left thigh, the right side of her abdomen, and right upper arm. It also became obvious that whoever had shot Ruthie Mae was known to her and was able to gain access to her apartment without breaking and entering. Yet they discovered that Ruthie had locked her door from the inside and the key was still on its hook near the threshold. So how had they gotten in and out of the apartment? Detectives reviewed the 911 call Ruthie made on the night of her death. When she mentioned her killers trying to get in through the bathroom cabinet, a deep chill fell over the two men.
Yeah.
It was impossible, like something out of a horror movie. But there had to be a rational explanation for what Ruthie was saying, as she was obviously not imagining anyone in her mirror. Detectives returned to the scene of the crime, intent on fully analyzing this bathroom cabinet that Ruth had mentioned. To the naked eye, it appeared to be a regular bathroom.
Hold up, bro. I know this ain't the chief looking like he just spilled beer on his chest, full of hair, hamburger meat hair. You know that belt about to bust. You know you just got finished eating some KFC with some side of fries.
To the naked eye, it appeared to be a regular bathroom cabinet. Mirror door, sterile white insides dotted with cosmetics and medicines. There were no secret doors inside of it, and there were certainly no supernatural portals to hellish otherworldly realms. In a show of mild frustration, one of the detectives either shook or struck the cabinet, only for each of them to notice something curious about it. It visibly shifted. We can imagine the moment. One detective silently looking at the other with surprise, before returning to shift the cabinet again. Before long, they discovered they could do more than just shift the thing. They could remove it entirely, revealing a gaping hole in the wall. As it turned out, the ABLA projects, which Ruthie called home, had a rather unusual architectural quirk built into it, in that certain apartments connected to one another via a narrow tunnel that ran behind the bathroom cabinets of opposite apartments. This design was intended to provide easy access to plumbing fixtures if maintenance was ever needed, and in some cases, apartments above and below each other were also connected by similar means. Granted, this made tradesmen's lives much easier, but also provided easier access for burglars and also nefarious types, as the bathroom medicine cabinets were easily removable from each end. A person could simply remove the cabinet from the wall of the apartment they were in, crawl through the narrow passage known as a pipe chase, and push in the cabinet of the unit they were trying to access.
He does not look happy.
Break-ins via this method have been going on in the ABLA projects for quite a while by the time of Ruthie's murder, to the extent where residents would put furniture in front of their bathroom doors or tie them with rope before going to bed. It was obviously a huge problem. It was obviously a huge problem, but one that was completely overlooked in the construction of the housing projects. Until the Chicago Housing Authority could find the money to fix it, residents were told to simply make do. Ruthie's apartment, number 1109, happened to be connected to number 1108, and this is obviously where her killers emerged from. Number 1108 was indeed being rented at the time, and it's believed that the tenant on record was actually a drug dealer who allowed his customers to use the apartment as a drug den. These shady drug-using types must have either entered or heard about the flaw in the architecture and decided to use it to their advantage. Two ALBA residents, Ted Turner, then aged 18, and 21-year-old named John Honduras, were charged with murder,
18?
Home invasion, armed robbery, armed violence, and residential burglary. A number of witnesses claim they saw the two men carrying McCoy's 19-inch color TV and rocking chair around the projects in the hours following Ruthie's murder. After years of arrests and continual investigation, the charges against the two men were dropped due to lack of investigation, and the Ruthie's killers were never officially charged or imprisoned. Even without the supernatural element, the idea of someone being able to violently break into your apartment via what amounts to a secret passage is absolutely terrifying. Very few of us ever seen the blueprints to the apartment buildings or houses that we live in, and even few are actually interested in doing so. And so how do you know for certain that there isn't some kind of secret entrance to your apartment? And if there is, how do you know there isn't someone sneaking along it right this instant?
This dude trying
ready to jump out on some poor
Don't do
unsuspecting
that, bro.
scary story fan to give them their own personal horror story.
Don't do that, bro. Trying to break the fourth wall. Somebody be...
Hello, bozo.
The second animation is made by Old Films and Stuff. Yeah, and it's called Creepy 1930 Stop Motion Dolly, Daisy, and Hearts and Flowers. Now, stop motions, they be kind of like, you could have it. You could have it. I don't want any part of it. Like, stop motions are like weird. So we're gonna see if this can actually scare us. Let's jump into it. I know that isn't the doll. I'm like, oh my gosh. Golly. Y'all seen that boy flip out the car? It's the music for me. Stank sock. Bro, he looks, Oh, she buff? Y'all seen that flex? Oh, John? Who is that? This makes me uncomfortable. How did you, are you an owl? I'm like, bro. Oh, junk, that's her mom? mom sleep, dude. They said she's knocked out. He said, "Come with me, kid. I'm gonna do the how long we got? Okay, we got like 3 more minutes left. I'm gonna talk." Golly, Buddy is strong if he can do that. Oh my gosh. Here, I got you. I'll use this as a ladder. And the mom's folded at this point. Dude. I got you. Come on, Gary. Don't worry about it. Ooh. Here, I got you. Here. Walk this way. What are you doing? Thank you. Bro, his face is so hurt. Like, give me back my gear, boy. Let's go, lady. Let's get it. Okay. Are you smelling her hair? So we gone. Look at the road. Who is that? Ain't nothing but a brother. Ain't nothing but a brother with color. What? Oh, junk, they gotta go across that? Don't go. Don't go. Don't go. Told them not to go. They ain't listen. Golly, dude. Said, hop on. I got you, man. I've been looking over you all night. Let's go. One tooth Jerry right there. That's him right there. You got me bent. You just took off my whole girl.
Yeah.
Ain't no captions. I'm like, we can use this balloon to go faster. I'm guessing that's what they saying. Oh, you floating back home? Yuck. Golly. What is her name? Mary Poppins? Don't touch me. You try to take my girl. Who is that? Bro, this got me uncomfortable. I'm like, she just got shot down. Is it 12? You know how high that was? I'm guessing this is how like shows and movies was back then. You just had to go off what they were pretty much depicting. I guess that's the right word. The end.
Yes, sir.
That last one wasn't scary. I'm gonna throw in some extra ones. I tried to do the captions, but it didn't work. I'm like, the third animation for today we have is by Horror Shorts Party. Goated. Underrated also. I'm like, hello. And we have 2 true disturbing October horror stories animated. I just wanted to throw something in just for, you know, it's October.
Yeah.
But dude, I'm gonna say something relatable. Like, have y'all ever went trick-or-treating and then y'all seen that garage open with like creepy lights or something, like just spooky, but you see a big old bowl of candy, king size candy, but it's like the garage walkway, like if you know what I mean. I used to travel to them, you know, them neighborhoods. They get them king size Reese's, Snickers, Kit Kats. I'm like, what? But dude, you knew it was a setup, dude. You getting scared. You gonna have to work for that candy, bro. You gonna have to work.
All I need to be happy is a rope to skip. I'm serious.
I'll
Tell you why.
serious.
Because a little jump rope can turn any bad situation into a real fun time. I learned this from the last time I went trick-or-treating. I'd spent the whole day perfecting my Harley Quinn costume, but the act just didn't feel complete until I picked up my jump rope and started skipping it. The backyard was my jump rope world championship stage, and everyone was thoroughly dazzled by my moves.
Nobody's there.
Everyone except Kat. She came by a couple hours after sundown and immediately started cramping my style.
Come on, Tracy. Let's go trick-or-treating before all the good candy's gone. My name is Harley. Can't you see?
Hater.
Whatever, weirdo. Let's go. I'd rather stay here and skip rope all night. Your Catwoman costume isn't even good. It's enough for candy. I'm not crazy like you. So you only dressed up for candy? That's kind of lame. Well, it's also fun to just show off. You've got a point. I guess I'll go. Good.
Wait, so you
now leave the rope.
was about to just stay?
Skip rope. Fine.
That poser ended up dragging me all over the neighborhood that night. She took all of my candy, and when she got scared, she made me walk her all the way home. She lives an entire mile away from me, too. So inconsiderate.
You got me bent. You think I'm gonna walk you home, and then I gotta walk by myself?
Oh my God! What is that?
I never even told her what happened. I was walking home all alone super late that night, and I didn't even have my jump rope. What a drag. But then I noticed this older boy who was dressed as the Joker had come up behind me and started following me. I didn't recognize him. And all of the Jokers, he decided that Jared Leto was the way to go. Lame. I turned around and faced him.
Who are you?
Why, I'm the Joker, of course. Your one true love.
Why's that?
Don't you know? We're meant to be together. Harley Quinn always falls for the Joker.
Haven't you seen the new movie? I dumped you.
Skin tone, chicken bone, leave me alone here.
You're gross.
That made him mad.
No.
This ain't the movie, sweetheart. I'm telling you, the Joker always gets his Harley Quinn. He then pulled out a knife. He swung at me, but I ran. I thought I'd outrun him, so I ran into the woods to cut across to my house. Boy, that was a bad idea. He caught up with me quick as soon as I got into the trees.
What's wrong with
He
juking him
tackled me and
out?
pinned me down into the dirt. I screamed for help, but he put his hand over my mouth.
You better bite down. What you?
Shh, baby girl. I'm just gonna give you a little reminder that you belong to me. So be happy about it. I thought I was going to die. He sliced my forehead with a smiley face, real slow. It hurt so bad, but I couldn't move anything at all. He was on top of me and held me down. But when the blood ran down into my eyes, I freaked. I squirmed and flailed until I got just one leg loose from his restraint.
Boom.
Then I kneed him straight in the balls with all my might.
Good thing.
He fell back
Yes,
shouting
ma'am.
and dropped his knife, holding his hand on his crotch. I picked up the knife before he could react, gripped it real tight, and then plunged it right into his stupid eyeball. Oh, how the...
That's Ooh. Bro, I love those, bro. You know, protagonists that just do what you're thinking. You try to kill me. If you even try to hurt me, you're getting bodied.
Oh, how those screams were music to my ears.
No stopping now.
I thought. So I got on him and took the knife out of his left eye and shoved it to the right. Then I stabbed him again and again until there was nothing left of his stupid wannabe face but pure carnage. He went limp, and I caught my breath.
All I wanted to do was skip some friggin' rope. So now, you're gonna help me out.
I raised the knife way up high with both hands and stuck it into his gut, then sliced all the way across his belly. I pried open all the skin and fat and exposed all the wonderful organic cordage within. I pulled out a nice long section of his small intestine and severed it with the blade. It was slippery, but it worked. I stood up and found my balance, then started doing what I wanted to do the whole time: skip rope. Now, don't you believe me when I tell you that skipping rope can make any situation better?
And if you do have some that I haven't reacted to, make sure you drop them in the comments. I want to see that. That's pretty fun to get y'all involved. I can shout y'all out too. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
You said you're not going to do that? No threats coming your way.
When I was 12 years old, I went to John Henderson Junior High School, unaware that we were all being systematically civilized to one day take over the planet. I spent most days doodling, usually some heroic display of one flashy godlike power or another, and I did feel sort of godlike. The first tingling sensations of approaching adulthood were like some all-powerful thing growing inside me, bursting at my seams. I didn't know what I was becoming, but it felt like it was gonna be impressive. Cordell! This was the day I remember.
Hold up. The thing is, the people that be laughing, bro, y'all be the, bro, just look at Buddy on the left. Bro, say something about me, I'm flaming you. I'm not letting back either. Girl in the back, how is your hair so stiff?
This was the day I remember the most. The day I glimpsed my godlike future.
If I was God. Production quality on point, bro.
I only remember a few of the kids from back then. Doris, who sat as still as possible to look as delicate as possible. Roman, that one mature kid in every class that had the natural poise and grace of a 15-year-old. Augie Faulkner, preteen incarnate.
Yo.
And Lily. I was in the same class as Lily since grade 1. But for some reason we had never actually spoken to one another. Every year I would try to get a desk close to hers. A good seating plan was crucial.
Gosh, dude.
Not only to pick the best desk, but also for calculating possible angles of attack. I did learn some things in grade 7.
Okay. Why y'all doing this straight on the
exactly
desk?
An ace student, but maybe that was because our teacher was old Ms. Lumley. You couldn't help but tune her out. So in a way, the teacher was to blame for what happened next.
Can I do this? Raised it up? Where's the teacher at? Where's the teacher at?
Right there. That was the moment. Had I really brought that frog back? Had I done some trick that only a god can do?
Oh.
I didn't know, but it was my first glimpse of real power. I could feel it surging all through me. If I was a god, I could play like that anytime I wanted. I could keep that old frog going indefinitely. Who but a god could toy with life and death?
Ain't no way. Dude. She don't even notice. They do be light though. And that junk is disgusting. Like, what you about to do? Okay, I see the resemblance. She does look like a fly. Ew. Ugh.
God, I hated Augie.
What gel do you need to make your hair go like
If
this?
I was a god, I wouldn't have to put up with such useless, annoying pests. I'd have the power to deal with foul things like her. I just have to add some new parts and useful pieces. I'd harness the impressive changes that were reshaping my body, turning me into something much more than I was. What a thing I'd be. Who but a god could create monsters?
What is happening? I'm like, did he get some of the, you know? These claymations, dude. Why is she tooting her butt up like that? Like,
The thing is, if I was a god, I wouldn't just use my power to punish. I'd use it to get what I wanted.
what you want, bro?
And I suppose, on that day, the thing I had really wanted the most was to create one absolutely perfect day with Lily. I would ensure that it was cozy and warm. A god would have a perfect picnic. What's the point of being a god if you can't show off? I imagined how impressed Lily would be at what I'd fashioned just for her. But if it wasn't perfect, it didn't matter. I wouldn't worry. A god could just change everything. Who but a god could change the whole planet?
You just left your girl. Buddy, look at his face. Help your girl. Okay. This dude kind of whack with it. Y'all just let him do that? Justin Bieber. Okay. That's good, girl. What are you doing?
Well, I wasn't a god. I wasn't even in grade 8. I had seen our godlike future, though. A future where we can toy with life and death, create new genetic monsters,
Dang,
and
your girl
destroy
dummy
the whole
talk.
planet.
Pause.
At that moment, the world seemed perfect, just the way it was.
That wasn't scary, but that's fire enough to leave in the video, you know what I'm saying? That's fire, that's fire. Okay, for the last short animation, we're gonna be reacting to Papa Meat, which is pretty much Meat Canyon, which is called Last Chip in the Pringles Can. We already know how Meat Canyon is, bro. And if you don't, I'm guessing you're not on YouTube like that or haven't reacted to these with me. I got a whole playlist. Get right.
You gotta push deep if you want to get this last chip.
Oh, I know he's not about to do what everybody here is thinking he's about to do. Is that why he put it on his second channel?
You gotta push deep if you want to get this last chip. There you go. Push on through there. Pringle. Reach down here and grab it. I'm the last one. I'm trying. I taste the best.
I'm trying.
Ooh. Are you wearing your class ring? Yeah. Slip that thing off. Okay. It'll help you get deeper down in here. Okay,
The person, bro.
Can you smell my sour cream and onion? Yeah, I can. I'm so dusty. I taste so freaking good. You're much better at this than your dad. Thank you. His chimp knuckles couldn't fit halfway in the can. Oh, God. He never got to taste this. But you're doing great. Thank you. What in the world? I love the taste of my own dust. Why don't you put me down and let one of your brothers or sisters try to get me? Okay. You were close. I'm sure you can get me tomorrow. Okay, Mr. Pringle.
I don't care how much salt and crumbs get in your hand. Just pour it. Bro, pause, bro.
So my mother told me this story years after it happened. My dad was a truck driver at the time he left the military in the early 70s. By the time my siblings and I were born, he only drove in our home state of Texas, and summers were extremely busy for him. This incident happened during the mid-80s on one of his extended trips across Texas. I believe he was driving south on 281. He was getting tired when he pulled his rig into the parking lot of a truck stop. He was making his way to the on-site convenience store.
I gotta give it to all the truck drivers out there, bro. I know y'all be driving for hours. Y'all literally have to stop at hotels to sleep. That's how long, bro. Y'all be driving for days sometimes. I couldn't do it. I'm gonna be honest. The longest drive that I've done, 6 hours. Bro, you can ask my mom, dude. I was like, you wanna switch? I'm like, I wanna get some sleep too. I know you're watching this, like, please don't ever have me doing that again. That was, my back been hurt. That's why I'm always like this.
When he noticed a young woman pacing back and forth in front of the shop. She looked to be in her early 20s, slim, very pretty, blonde, and wearing a tank top with cut-off shorts, normal attire for Texas summers. She was carrying what looked like a plate covered in aluminum foil, as if she was making her way home from a family barbecue. He finished his business in the store and headed back to his truck. As he got in, he was stunned to see that the blonde woman was now sitting in his passenger seat. He was utterly shocked. He had no clue who this woman was or how she got past his locked door. My dad was always very vigilant on the road.
You don't just sit there like,
and never left his truck unlocked. He demanded that she get out of his truck. He wasn't afraid at this point, but something felt off about this mysterious woman. She sat there and looked at him, with the covered plate on her lap, not saying a word. For a moment he wondered if he should just get out, walk over to the passenger side door, and just yank her out of the cab.
Facts.
But he decided against it. I'm still not sure why. The whole thing was beyond strange, so my dad, against his better judgment, turned his rig on and drives off, with the blonde woman still in his passenger seat. A few miles up the road, he attempts to make conversation. I guess he was trying to quell the extreme discomfort he felt. He asked her name, but again, the woman remained silent. As they...
You got me bent. If I'm taking you with, where's the gas money? Where's my money? I mean, extra money besides the gas that's going in my tank. Where's my food?
As they continued down the highway, lustful thoughts began to creep into my dad's mind. I'm sure it had been a while since he had last seen my mother. out there in the rural Texas roads. Who would find out? Just this one time. What could happen, right? My dad puts his hand on her thigh, right above her knee. As soon as he touched her, the blonde woman turned from a gorgeous young woman into some kind of hellish monster.
Are those cracks?
Her face turned rugged, and her eyes were now black pits. Her teeth had turned into sharp fangs, with a long, unnatural-looking tongue. The demonic figure let out a guttural hiss. From the plate she was still holding came the sounds of slimy movements, as if there was a pile of writhing worms beneath the foil.
Ew.
A putrid smell permeated the truck's cab, and my dad quickly turned his face from her and managed to bring his rig to a stop on the side of the road. As the truck came to a halt, my dad opened his door and jumped out of his truck.
Boy,
after taking
if
a
you
few
don't
moments
run.
to compose himself and allow his breathing to return to normal, he looked back at his truck. The demonic woman had vanished. He was now alone on the road. He started to pray, asking for God to rebuke the evil spirit. He eventually got back into his truck and drove off. The woman did not return. However, it was a while before the lingering stench dissipated. When my dad got home from that trip, he recounted everything to my mother. He had been so scared that my mother would not forgive him for his unfaithful indiscretion. He had seen a lot in his life, but nothing had ever frightened him like that before. He blamed himself for having impure thoughts, and perhaps that's why he attracted the evil spirit. I know many might say that people cheat on their partners all the time, and nothing like this happens to them. I can't explain why. I only know what happened to my father on the dark, lonely roads of Texas. When I was older, I brought up this experience to him and asked, "Dad, did that really happen to you?" He would never respond with words and just nodded.
Boy, you know you was trying to get some on the road cheating on. Alright, now if y'all enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a like, make sure you subscribe if you are new. Make sure you have the bell on so you know whenever I do upload the next one next week. And then more videos in between. I'll see y'all in the next video. Hopefully in a couple days, actually. I love every single one of y'all. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.